You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
If that happens, it could have a chilling effect on two major projects here in mid-Michigan. The CHIPS and Science Act, which then President Joe Biden signed in 2022, is allowing for major investment here. Hemlock Semiconductor is receiving $325 million. That was announced in January. And in Genesee County, the manufacturing site in Mundy Township is expected to bring a lot of jobs. From an economic standpoint, cutting the funding could hurt these places.
Cutting this funding would make it more difficult to reshore that production back to the U.S.
We've seen the impact the pandemic had 5 years ago on the global semiconductor manufacturing component. It halted production and caused a national chip shortage. And since then, there's been a push to invest in the United States.
If that funding is deemed wasteful and cut, well, then probably a lot of that production won't take place here, and it will continue to take place in places like Taiwan.
In his joint address to Congress last night, President Donald Trump says he wants the CHIPS Act cut, calling it horrible. U of M Flint economics professor Chris Douglas says that would not be good news for Hemlock.
Which would make it more difficult for Hemlock Semiconductor to expand, which would result in a lot of the promised jobs not materializing.
In Genesee County, the much-anticipated Mundy Township Advanced Manufacturing Site is slated to also bring a lot of jobs. State Representative Jasper Martis says a cut to funding would be detrimental.
We're at the precipice of creating over 10,000 jobs in Genesee County, really experiencing the largest investment in Genesee County in 60 or 70 years, in a life-changing way, in a bipartisan way.
While an official announcement hasn't happened yet, the Flint and Genesee Economic Alliance says they are working to create a site that would provide for thousands of jobs. In a statement, Executive Director Tyler Ross Messler says that our team is working hard every day to create a site in Genesee County that is attractive to an advanced manufacturer so we can create jobs, bring our supply chain back to the United States, enhance our national security, and improve our ability to compete with foreign countries like China. And he also feels that it's consistent with President Trump's vision to bring manufacturing back to the U.S.
This is our last best chance to not just bring back manufacturing to Michigan and the Midwest, but finally give Genesee County the respect that it deserves.
As of January, the Semiconductor Industry Association says more than $32 billion in grants have been announced by the CHIPS program office, including the $325 million awarded to Hemlock for an expansion. ONAC Senator Gary Peters says, quote, the CHIPS and Science Act is actively putting the U.S. in a position to outcompete China and secure our domestic semiconductor supply chain. It's creating thousands of good-paying jobs in Michigan in the process. He goes on to say he'll do everything he can to make sure President Trump doesn't dismantle it.